Hello chess lovers! It was only 2 videos ago when Eric Rosen's name came up last, when I made a video about the Rosen score, which is a truly awesome resource. Today I'm going to talk about the man himself and his most famous one-liner, "Oh no my queen," and the reason is because in the recently finished Reykjavik Open, he played a game against the youngest GM in the world, Abhimanyu Mishra, and believe it or not, but there was a "oh no my queen" moment in that game, so let's dive right into it and see what happened between these two chess legends. Sicilian on the menu, and Mishra decided to turn it into a King's Indian attack setup with g3, bishop g2, and then queen e2. And here Eric, not wanting to face the stock standard attacking setups in the King's Indian attack after d3, knight e2 castles, and then e5, rook e1, knight f1, yada yada yada, the stock standard King's Indian attack procedures, he decided to play e5 and enter instead a proper King's Indian setup with reversed colors. Now the problem with this, although the move itself is totally fine, is the fact that he's playing a white system with black, so he's already a tempo down. And then he played e5 in 2 moves, e6 and then e5. That puts him 2 tempi down. In my book, that's one move too many, even against black systems. So, yeah, it's an interesting decision, but let's move on. c3, castles, knight a3, all stock standard moves. White is going to play d3, knight c4, completing this structure. But here, actually, d5 was a touch too provocative. So more standard would have been rook e8, bishop f8, and then d5 when the e5 pawn is covered. And frankly, I'm not quite sure why Eric opted against this. The problem with d5 is that after ed5, the e5 pawn is hanging. And that means that the queen needs to come to d5. Now, this whole idea would work like charm if black could actually plant something on d3, or at least sufficiently prevent white from establishing the structure correctly with d3. The problem, however, as you can see, is that this queen and this bishop, they are on the same diagonal, and so white has all kinds of nasty knight jumps that black has to reckon with. Most notably, knight d4. However, knight d4 right here, and I'm 100% certain that Eric calculated this correctly, is met by knight takes d4, when bishop d5, knight takes e2 wins a piece for black, because we took a piece on d4. And if I take back with the pawn on d4, then queen takes d4, and black emerges with an extra pawn. So Mishra, seeing this, decided to go pawn d3 and floating the threats. And after bishop f5, actually I need to stop here. One thing that I noticed when I played against Grandmasters back in the day when I was playing was the fact that very often I faced moves that I took granted that they wouldn't be able to play, or somehow were just entirely off my radar. And I think that Eric may have fallen into that trap here when he played bishop f5, because he would assume that guarding d3 is essentially compulsory by rook d1. Whereupon after rook a d8, the pressure on d3 pawn keeps on increasing, and again a knight d4 trickery is met by knight takes d4. And so I think that this is the mistake that he might have made here too, assuming that guarding the pawn was compulsory, but actually this is not the case. And here Mishra demonstrates why he is the youngest GM in the world at the moment by playing the very clever rook e1, counterpunching on e5. And now after bishop d3, knight takes e5. What a beaut. Bishop e2, bishop d5, knight d5, and knight takes c6 allows white to enter straight from the opening right into the endgame, and a much better endgame that one is. After rook takes e2, the double pawns that will be blockaded by the knight on c4 will prove to be constant targets for white, and as such this position is simply not playable for black. And so here Eric had to adjust his plans, because knight e5 is now such an enormous threat. So he decided to play bishop d6. But now the complications start to get a little bit out of hand, because now I reckon he forgot the fact that knight d4 was still on the cards. And here comes the big difference why bishop d6 is a really bad move, is that now knight d4 actually does win for white, because after knight takes d4, which was all the way the plan, now cd4 wins because queen d4, knight b5 forks the two pieces, and the game is over. Even after queen takes d3, we just take and knight takes d6 picks off a free piece. So this must have come as a cold shower to Rosen, but Eric is a fighter, and he goes like, well, if that is the case, I will have to pick what appears to be the least bad of the many options, and that was, oh no, my queen. Queen takes g2, king takes g2, and e d4. And although it is only 2 minor pieces for the queen, it is still a technical issue for white to convert this. And you still need to be, or if anything, you need to be even more focused than ever to ensure that you are bringing the W home without allowing any counter chances. Now, black's main plans and main strength rely on the light squared bishop, because that's uncontested. And so the light squares are a little bit soft, and there is a target on the light squares as well. All this said, Mishra here plays like an absolute chess god. I really like how he converts it. Watch. Knight c4, rook e8, queen back. Now, if of course, trade, and taking on d3 is not doable because the bishop is hanging. So bishop back, trade. And from here on, just activate. Really awesome chess. He goes bishop g5, knight d5, queen b3. He doesn't care about material. d3 is hanging. No worries. I need to come out with my pieces. Eric took on d3. Queen takes b7. This line is more or less forcing here. Knight d8. And here is again the typical Rosen trick. Do not take on d5, because that will be really an oh no my queen with bishop e4 check. And so Mishra went back to b5, rook e2, bishop d8, bishop d8, queen d7, bishop e7. And again, I want to stop here for a second, because I think this was the move that came to Eric as the second cold shower in this game. A move that is super easy to overlook. Once again, queen d5 is no-go because of bishop check. And if queen e8 check, then bishop f8, and the rook is guarded, and in fact is now hitting the queen, and potentially bishop e4 check is becoming annoying. What did Mishra do here? A really awesome move. In fact, if you want, you can pause the video and try to figure it out. He played his sensational attacking idea of knight e5. Now, anytime you sack a piece on an empty square, that's super impressive and usually easy to overlook. The idea is to lure the rook onto an unguarded square and then go check and pick off the rook, which is actually what happened in the game, because if black doesn't do this, then queen e8 check, queen f7 is going to lead to a rapid checkmate. And so unfortunately for our lovely, very friendly streamer buddy Eric Rosen, here there was not a lot left in the game. Mishra overpowered the 3 minor pieces with the rook and queen combo, cleverly sacking away in exchange to pave the way for the c-pawn and to eliminate all counterplay, and the rest of the game was just carnage. And he easily converted. A very interesting middle game scenario. It was a very cool queen sack, although it was forced. And it was even more impressive how Mishra then ended up punishing Eric for the minor inaccuracies. And that, to my mind, by the way, just to go back to an older debate that took place on Twitter, this game alone convinces me, if I needed any conviction, which I didn't, by the way, that Abhimanyu Mishra is clearly Grandmaster material, and he definitely does deserve to be a Grandmaster. Now, back to Eric. I want to show you one more thing. 3 rounds earlier, he had this position against, I guess, a local Icelandic player. And Eric here scored an absolutely fabulous checkmate. It's so beautiful. Check this out. He took on e6. Opponent went g3. And Eric went rook c5. introducing a marvelous checkmate threat with rook h8, king g4, rook g5 mate. Now his opponent thought that the only way to defend this mate was to take on f4, which is actually wrong. Exchange sec would have lasted longest, but even that is dead lost. And took on f4, and boy, what a checkmate our buddy Eric is delivering here. Absolutely marvelous. If you want to solve it for yourself, again, pause the video. Otherwise, I will show you this absolutely nuts checkmate in 5. Check, takes, check. And now it doesn't matter where the king goes back, because we are coming at them with check here, and the final mate is rook h4, checkmate. Now that is well and truly an Eric Rosen-like finish. Congrats to Eric for that one. And that is going to conclude this video. But that being said, I might come back to you with another video about the Reykjavik Open, because it was a tremendous success for the Indian contingent, who actually was represented by quite a large number of players. As you guys probably know, Pragnananda won the tournament, Mishra came second, and Tanya Sachdev took out the ladies prize. So yeah, full on Indian victory with lots of awesome chess games. So I might actually bring you another video in which I give you a bit of a summary of what happened there. For now we are done. Please don't forget to like, to click, to sub, to comment, and I will be back with a new video very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.